Hi, Seeker. Happy birthday, Scorpio. Happy Samhain. So, teaser season. You don't really know what to make of it, do you? Ten of Swords. This has been unexpected. You have lost control over something. That specific technique or approach didn't work this time. And it has or is leaving you a bit astounded. What did I miss? What did I do wrong this time? You did it exactly like you've been doing it over and over again. What changed isn't that you have done something different, hence why it didn't work. What changed is the environment, the world, the energy. That approach, that path, that decision, that pattern, whatever it was, however it played out in whatever field, does not work anymore. Because the reason it did work in the past is because a lot of things were hidden from us, from people. We had a lot of blind spots. So somehow that maneuver was able to find its way and reach the destination. This time it didn't work. Well, that's a good thing. I know it may not feel good, but it is good because it's not serving you anymore. And if it had worked again, you would be like, oh, okay. You would continue. What is it, Scorpio? Care to share? Share in the comments. If you want to let us know how it plays out with you. Ten of Swords here says it's gone and done. And all the swords are out, meaning sword could be communication, could be truth, could be clarity. So, once the cat is out of the bag, you can't really put it back in. It's not possible. The only way is forward. Cheers to that. And here we are moving forward. Queen of Wands. There is so much talent and so much vitality and so much life force and charisma and leadership in this queen. It really doesn't matter to her what was. She knows who she is. She knows how to set boundaries in quite a creative and authentic way, which is a nice combination, creative and authentic, when it comes to setting boundaries. Because often, sometimes, when we set boundaries, we have to be a little bit politically correct, a little bit, passive aggressive. But the Queen of Wands is not passive aggressive. The Queen of Wands is pretty much, it is what it is, But it's also passionate and creative and positive. Nice balancing there. This is an energy of Leo, Queen of Wands, so it's an energy that squares you. So in good case scenario, it's something that or someone that teaches you and inspires you and kind of guides you in that direction of that energy. Not so good case scenario, and it will vary, guys. I read for a lot of people, so take it or leave it. Not so good case scenario, it is someone that is setting the record straight when it comes to whatever this thing that wasn't working is, whatever this approach that you may have had was. Either way, it's good news because it opens a path to actual good energies, you know, like that aren't based in swords elements, not words, it's energy, actual energy. So someone on Facebook wrote a how did he write? He wrote it in Hebrew, but I'm gonna translate to English. What was it? I never met a person whose bio said good vibes only who had good vibes. Brilliant. Okay, so if you're dealing with someone like that who you know, maybe you're a cross watcher for a Scorpio, or maybe whatever. But if there's someone who has been talking a lot about something along those lines, saying good vibes, but their energy was the opposite, this is the actual energy of good vibes coming in and being like, yeah, no, good vibes is not about cold-blooded swords who stab people in the back. No, good vibes is actual camaraderie, actual warmth, sincerity, truth, cooperation, leadership as opposed to manipulative dictatorship, etc. It's a challenge to deal with. But these are the first two cards, meaning you're starting the reading with this, or you have recently been dealing with this energy. So let's see what's next. Beautiful Scorpios for your birthday season. Oh my goodness! Wow, 3 of Pentacles and the Empress. That is absolutely gorgeous. 3-3. So much communal building and creativity and cooperation. This is where we begin to create and inspire from the earth element, right? Of the actual productions. We move from words and desires to actual production and creation, basically. Queen of Wands and the Empress, there could be something to do with beauty and leadership and femininity. Some of you, divine femininity. This could be the Empress teaching the Queen of Wands. The Empress is, because suddenly the Queen of Wands in relation to the Empress, like the Queen of Wands in relation to 10 of Swords, she was really much better energy, but the Queen of Wands in relation to the Empress, it's like the narrative changes a little bit, okay? So the Empress is all the queens, it's all the elements. It's fire, hence Queen of Wands, but it's also air, aka Queen of Swords, earth, Queen of Pentacles, and water, Queen of Cups. So the Empress is all of those elements plus ether. She's like the goddess Demeter, the goddess of life, who works with all the elements to create life. The almighty powerful, right? So when we have a queen next to the Empress takes, okay? The Empress teaches the queen, guides the queen. With the 3 of Pentacles in between them, I see a very positive cooperation. So there could be, you know, you might be an expert in something, or someone is an expert in something, but they have more to learn, and they're encountering someone that can mentor them to know even more, right? Because the Queen of Wands, she knows shit. She's knowledgeable. She's not a beginner. However, in relation to the Empress, she has a lot to learn. And I see this learning, teaching process happening. See, the Empress, leadership can't be taken. You know, leadership is just, you're called for it, right? You're called to lead based on what you know. It's not something you have to manipulate or enforce or be domineering or you know, do any sort of microaggressions and passive aggressive type of communications with anyone. You just gotta be who you are. This Empress, she is who she is. And that's a very inspiring energy to the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands is an active force of fire. It's someone that is used to having to act and do and make for something to happen. It's like, follow me, I will lead you kind of thing, as opposed to the Empress, who just walks in the right path, in the right way. And people just like, she seems like someone who knows what they're doing. I'm going to follow that. Right? So something about that is coming through very, very strongly. Either way, the combination of Three of Pentacles and the Empress is very abundant and very, very positive. So if you're this Empress, you'll have people who listen to you. If this Empress is someone you know, you seem to be listening to them and following them. Show me more, please, for Scorpios. Sun, moon, rising, all that jazz. And you know, as a seeker in general, you can watch all the videos and apply them to the planets that you have in that sign, and or the house that you have that sign in, right? So if you have Scorpio in the 7th house, right, then it applies to your relationships and contracts and agreements, in romantic relationships as well, and so on and so on. Show me more, please. Page of Swords and 6 of Pentacles. Someone I'm feeling is being ungrateful. Where are these two? Chariot and King of Swords. So going from Page of Swords rapidly to the King of Swords, okay? Interesting. Page of Swords and 6 of Pentacles. I feel like someone is like patronizing someone, like acting like that person needs them, or like they're doing them a favor, or like someone thinks that and speaks as if the other person needs them or reliant on them in any way. And that person quickly is like, I'm the King of Swords and the Chariot. I win whatever I need to win, and I am this much powerful and this much knowledgeable. I have all the information. I know everything I need to know, and I can see right through your bullshit, right? So if someone is doing that, the other person is like, with the Chariot, they're just, I don't need bread. Like, I'm picking up, like, I don't need breadcrumbs. I don't need anything you claim that you need, that you claim that I need of you. I don't rely on you in any way, shape, or form. And if anything, You're a page, and I'm a king. You may hold a seemingly bigger sword because you, I don't know, blown it with words. Air. Words are air. If words that are not aligned with actions or don't come with actions that align with those words, they're nothing. They're just air. Okay? A sword needs its handle. If you try to hold a sword just on the sword, you're going to get cut. And you're going to drop it. It's going to be nothing other than pain. Right? You got to have the handle, and you got to have the muscle to hold the handle. And that's the physical body and manifestation. That's the arm. It's the action. Okay? A sword can't swing itself or hold itself. So this king to this page is like, who do you think you're bullshitting, kind of thing? Who do you think you're playing with? Those words like only make you look smaller. Those big words, right? You know what it's like? It's like someone who begins a communication with a fake compliment, then writes a lot of bull crap, and then signs with, I wish you all the best, good vibes only. Like, it is so toxic and fake. It's like one of those things that makes me want to hurl, right? So this king is almost like reading this page's text or their email and is like, and are like, I'm out of here. Out. Peace out. Thank you. This king has a kingdom to take care of and doesn't have energies for bullshit. Literally, I love it when the cards do that. Doesn't have energy for bullshit. 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is like focusing on everything that is not important and losing sight of the aim. It's a useless battle with like the detail that don't really matter. It's pettiness. You gotta know what you're fighting for and focus on that. Focus on the essence. Focus on that one wand that counts. This king is like so annoyed. It's like this king is like, who are these nonsentials that waste my time? Oh, ooh. This turned interesting. It was interesting, of course. Judgment and the devil. Someone is being called out. Ouch. Someone is being really called out on their, what we spoke in the beginning, on their manipulation, on their control tactics, on their agenda. It's like, this shit is not working anymore. Someone who's really into like controlling people by making them think that they need them. Right? Oh, you can't do anything without me. You need me. Right? And this individual / energy is being called out. On another note, some of you are performing an exorcism. Like maybe there is something, like some difficult energies in your surrounding that you need to cleanse. Never disregard the power of an order. You have autonomy over your boundaries. You can say, you are not welcomed here. You can say, X-spirit or X-person, right? You could apply both, either way. You can't be here anymore. You can't feed off of me and take from me at my expense. You can't have me do all the work and then you take credit for it. You can't let me pay for everything, clean everything, take care of everything, and then give me guilt trips. Make a decision, right? Or difficult low frequency spirit that is attaching, you can't be here. You know, people go to great lengths to perform ceremonies and cleansing rituals, which are great, and they forget, they skip the part where they just declare, say, this is my home, you can't enter. It has a lot of power when you mean it, of course. Okay? This is for very few of you. If someone tells you that in order to achieve something, in order to, I don't know, create a spell or manifest something or get something that you want, you have to do some sort of blood ritual / God forbid, a sacrifice of some sort, let's say of an animal, God forbid. No, no, no. And in case all those no's weren't clear, let me try this again. No, no, no. Horrible karma. Very negative type of work. Abort. Do not partake. Okay. Also, speaking of, we're going into that. We're going there. Let's go there. Even if you have the best intention and you just miss someone and you want to talk to someone from beyond the veil, and I understand it, 'tis the season, you know. However, if they are in peace and you force them with your pain and yearning, which is, I'm not judging you for it. I know grief, okay? But you need to understand that when you try to raise back a spirit of a loved one who's at peace and bring them back to this frequency, it's a painful process, especially if they're in a position of rest right now or transformation. You can do a beautiful, loving ceremony and convey with their blueprint without having them come to you and be with you and stay with you and watch over you. Always ask with the permission of their higher self and with what works best for them. That includes, by the way, ancestors, spirit guides, archangels. Don't assume that just because they can, it means that they should or that it's okay. Often our loved ones that passed away, they care about us. So if you call them, they will make the effort regardless, whether it's they're in a frequency that allows it and it's easy for them or not, and it creates some sort of tension for them. So keep in mind that we don't know everything. And the best way to go about it is by first, before doing everything, this is with permission for the highest good and what's best for said loved one or said ancestor or said angel or said whoever you're conveying with. Okay, and that's kind. They also deserve our kindness. I know it's easy to think, okay, now they are invincible. Being invisible doesn't make you invincible. Some of them really yearn to connect with you, and your pain is their pain, and they stay stuck behind because of the pain of who's left behind. Alert, I am not shaming your pain and your grief. Do not take it to that place. I'm not telling you to not grieve or to not be in pain or to not express your heart when you feel like you're missing someone. You can absolutely feel all these feelings and have all those things without calling them to be there. Does that make sense? This is not about pretending that you're all right when you're not all right. And this is not about feeling bad about being in pain. It's the most legitimate feeling in the world. But you can do that without demanding their presence. Okay, just something to think about. Just something to think about. And you think to yourself, well, it's because I love them so much. Right, but when you love someone, you do what's best for them, and sometimes that means letting them go. You know, being in Earth's frequency is challenging in and of itself, let alone if you're no longer in that frequency, but somehow you're held here, and it's like, it stretches, you know. And especially if you're considering, again, this is coming up for some of you, then if it doesn't apply to you for now, then for future reference, you can just know that. Especially with seances and Ouija boards, you're more likely to tap into their leftover astral suit than you are to their actual spirit. And a different low frequency spirit might just take a ride on that suit and just kind of present itself to you as if it's them. I don't recommend anyone to perform seances, whether you are a beginner or advanced spiritual practitioner. Doesn't mean that you can't, doesn't mean that you don't know. Okay, it's not weakness being able to say, I know how to do this, I think I can handle it, however I choose to be respectful to thus a spirit, and not be arrogant enough to think that I won't accidentally possibly bring in something that, you know, if you're a channeler and you have a being or a spirit or anyone, anything that you generally trust and you channel messages through, you know, it's different. Okay, it's different. I'm referring to most situations are not like that though. Right? Most situations when we convey with the spirits, it's not Esther Hicks, you know, channeling Abraham. So you know what your case is. Okay, these are still general readings. And otherwise, if you choose to make a mistake that you can pay for a very long time, energetically and karmically, and kind of get attached to you for a very long time, in some cases, in other cases simply interfere with someone's rest or evolution of their spirit. Hey, I can't tell you what to do. This is not what I'm here for. I'm here to teach you, and then you apply or don't apply. I can only hope, right? But, you know, things I'm saying, it's either from my experience or from other people's experiences. It's based in things. Based in things. And I wouldn't say that to you if I hadn't know exactly, for those of you who are dealing with grief and loss, if I hadn't know exactly what you're dealing with. I know the pain of loss very well. Okay, so I'm not patronizing you. It's a challenge for me as well, and I went through that as well. I'm teaching you from my experience and from knowledge. Okay, so don't use what I just said. Oh, it's your experience. My experience will be different. If you haven't realized that I know what the F I'm talking about by now, why are you still here? Everything is a projection. We all always advise from our own place. That's the only place we can advise from. There's no such thing as objectivity. Let go of that illusion. If you say that about anything, you won't learn anything from anyone and won't listen to anyone. So that's a choice as well, I guess. Well, that went interesting. Anything else? We have 2 3s and 2 6s and 2 7s. And they're all combination of minor arcana and major arcana. So there is alignment between your physical form 3D and your aspect in higher dimensions. There is communication between these two different aspects of you. Yes, it's different aspects of you. They're both you, but they're different. One is free to fly like an eagle, the other is not. Okay? My finger here can do this. My toe and my foot cannot. Maybe I can. I don't recall trying it. Maybe I'll try later. But you're getting the picture. Okay? Both are legitimate. Both are a part of me. But they have different skill and ability. My ear can't do this. Does great other stuff. Okay? Just because we're part of the same entity doesn't mean that my ear needs to try to be a hand or that my hand needs to try to be an ear. I think I just this was the weirdest analogy I've ever given thus far. Unless you remember a weirder analogy, feel free to remind me if I've given something else that was funnier. Anyway, point being, there's resonance between the different aspects of you right now. They communicate with clarity. Things start to align for you. You're starting to see things both from the metonymy, both from the micro and the macro, right? You understand the detailed and the big picture of aspects in your life, and you're able to connect the dots and make decisions that will benefit you both in the short run and in the long run. So that's great. I will continue this reading in the extended that will be available on Patreon and on Vimeo. On Patreon, you will have everything for unlimited streaming. Not just all the extendeds, but also other content, VIP content that I upload there, from karmic shift and liberation to rune messages, lunar spirit messages. Fun. I would love for you to join my Patreon tribe over there. You never know what will happen to this platform. It's good that you'll be solid with me when I need to talk to you, if that makes sense. And regardless, it's a great way to support the channel. Thank you for my patrons. You're the reason why I'm able to do all this free work. With that said, thank you to my channel members. I'm still doing this. I'm still reading. I just need to say these things. Thank you to my channel members. That is very kind of you. By the way, seekers, both subscriptions, both on Patreon and channel members, you can cancel anytime. So, you know, take a look, give it a try, and then figure it out. Stay or go. You're free. What else? Tarot Masterclass. If you have not checked it out yet and you want to go through a shamanic journey with me where you study the tarot, really study the tarot, check out Tarot Masterclass. What else for Scorpio, please, to conclude this reading? I will finish the extended with rune messages as well. What else for Scorpio, please? Okay. Two of Swords. Scorpio, you are you're on a long journey, okay? You can't trust anyone. Before you figure out who you can or cannot trust, you need to be honest with yourself and think, who can trust me? Who can trust you? Are you trustworthy the way you expect other people to be trustworthy with you, right? This is a guidance that is not easy to take, but think to yourself, where have I not? This isn't to say that you're not trustworthy. Okay? However, regardless, we all have our introspection to make. Sit with yourself and think, where have I not been trustworthy? And once that clicks in your head, whether it's one little example or infinite tons of examples, right? Many people watch me. I don't know your case specifically. It's not personal. But however the level, that's the level of self-deceit you must deal with in order to deal with potential exterior deceit. Now, another aspect of not being trustworthy, it's not about others. It could be you not being trustworthy towards yourself. It could be you going through some sort of self-deceit. And it's the things you won't think about. It's being like, I'm feeling great when I'm not. I'm over this when I'm still in pain. I forgive this person because it's the Christian thing to do when you are raging. Don't deceive yourself, and thus you won't manifest people who deceive you. Okay? You have got to be honest with yourself. Self-deceit, even if it has a really big smile and good vibes, if it's a lie, your vibes, vibration. It's not the words, it's not the smile. Yes, they have their own frequency, but the strongest frequencies and vibes are determined by our heart and our inside. What we truly feel, not what we say to ourselves that we should feel. No, what we feel. If you're angry inside and putting up a smile outside, you will manifest a partner that is possibly narcissistically toxic, meaning they seem perfect on the outside, but the more you spend time with them, you discover that they are very, very toxic and are passive aggressive and have a lot of anger issues, right? And they're just pretending to be Mr. or Mrs. Sunshine because you're pretending to be Mr. or Mrs. Sunshine. And you can't really resolve what's truly within if you're pretending that it doesn't exist. I'm not telling you to do anything to someone or hurt anyone based on so-called negative emotions. I'm telling you to sit with yourself and admit to yourself how you feel. Truly. Just say it. I'm angry. I'm in pain. No, I'm not forgiving. Whatever it is that you know we've been taught recently by the New Age to shame ourselves for. That's not self-love. That's self-shame. Toxic positivity is not unconditional love. And it is not good vibes. It's not good vibration, and it's not good frequency. Toxic positivity is the thing that is killing us. There is a way to express the range of our emotion in a positive manner. So if you're angry, you don't have to, God forbid, hurt anyone. You can punch a punching bag. Or exercise, but you gotta admit to yourself. Now you're going for a run because you're so angry and you gotta let it out somehow. But you're not telling yourself that you're fine as you're running. You're just feeling it out. Okay, and if you're super sad and depressed, I'm not saying that you need to go to a party to someone's birthday and just cry out and ruin their celebration. I'm saying you can stay home and cry. It's okay. And you can tell your friend, honestly, I really want to celebrate your joy and your achievement, but I'm not in that place right now, and I don't want to wreck your celebration. I'm going to choose to stay in. I would love to celebrate with you at another time when I'm feeling better. And then they might surprise you and come after. You know, with a cake, vegan cake preferably. Because our path to healing shouldn't go through hurting animals. That's hypocrite. And the path to God doesn't go through hurting animals either. That's also hypocrite. I don't care in the name of what you pay someone to do it. Oh, in the name of medicine, that's bullshit. Oh, in the name of science, that's bullshit. Oh, in the name of food, that's bullshit. Oh, in the name of sports, in the name of fashion, that's bullshit. I don't do any of those things. I'm fine. It's a choice. Okay, if you stayed this far, you are awfully brave and powerful. Thank you. If you're new, subscribe. Stick around for the existential shift, and I will see you in a second in your extended. Bye, superstar.